Yes, Prabhu. This is perfect. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्जबिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय वर्धन सिंह जय नृसिंह देव वर्धन सिंह जय नृसिंह देव जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। निताय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी कथाञ्चन स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्य नमामि तं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं चैतन्यजगदीश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिभृङ्ग गोविन्द स्वामिनीति नामिने। Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is very auspicious day. Today is Dwadashi. It is known as Govinda Dwadashi. And also today is the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is the founder of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So he is the one who has introduced this Prema Bhakti. So today is disappearance day, and it is also Shantipur festival day. So as we know, this Madhavendra Puri is the grand spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master is Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Puri's spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri. So, and he is also the spiritual master of Advaita Acharya. So we all chant Panchatattva mantra, right? Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Advaita Acharya's guru is also Madhavendra Puri. So today is his disappearance day. So when to commemorate his disappearance day, Advaita Acharya he lives in a place called Shantipur, which is near to Mayapur in West Bengal. So it is a few kilometers. I don't know how much exactly, but it's very near to Mayapur, Navadvipa. So there he used to celebrate this festival known as Shantipur festival. So for this festival, devotees from all over the places they would come. Not only now, earlier also. So during Advaita Acharya period also, many devotees from all over the places they would come and attend this festival. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also used to attend this festival. And after attending one festival, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so whoever attend this Shantipur festival, whoever take part in this Sankirtan, because when this festival is organized, there will be a huge kirtan and also followed by the big feast. So whoever attend this festival, whoever participate in Nam Sankirtan, and whoever honors Prashadam in Shantipur in Advaita Acharya's place, and they will surely attain so Krishna Bhakti. So this is a benediction given to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all the devotees who visit Shantipur. So now, the Shantipur festival is being carried out by ISKCON. So few years ago, ISKCON took this responsibility and they feed lakhs of devotees. More than 10 lakhs people attend today's festival, and we being part of Damodar Desh, we are very honored. So today's festival in Shantipur festival, the prasadam is sponsored from Damodar Desh. So this in this way we also certainly get some blessings from Madhavendra Puri. So that's about today's Tithi. And coming back to Srimad Bhagavatam, now we are in the third canto, so chapter 9. And last week I have covered two verses, up to two verses. This chapter name is known as Brahma's Prayer for the Creative Energy. In the previous chapter, we have seen how Brahma, he manifested from the Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So then now he has given the responsibility for the secondary creation. So oftentimes, we are from Hindu background. We know we worship Trinity. That is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So we are all born with the concept Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Lord Shiva is the destructor. Right? So in one sense, it is correct. So it's not false. But at the same time, we should understand Brahma is a secondary creator. So as we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, so Srimad Bhagavatam deals with 10 subject matter. Atra sarga visargascha sthananam pushanam utaha manvantara ishanukato muktir nirodha ashrayaha. These are the 10 subject matter discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. One is sarga. Sarga means creation. So then Visarga. Visarga is the secondary creation. So the Sarga is done by the Lord himself. So Visarga is done by Lord Brahmaji. So this is what he is going to create now. So just to give an example, say now, for example, we have to build a house. Okay, then in order to build a house, what you require? You require the land. Then we require so many ingredients, such as we need cement, we need bricks, we need sand, we need water, and so many other things, right? So although there is a chief engineer, so he who is responsible for building this house, but who provides all these ingredients? So without these ingredients, the engineer or whoever expert, the contracting manager maybe, so he cannot build a house, right? So these initial ingredients have been provided by the Lord, which is known as Sarga, and now Brahma is going to create the secondary creation. So which he was ordered by the Lord to create it, and which he is doing it.
Rao Prabhu. Yeah, thank you.
I thought it was my laptop. Okay, thank you. So we have last week we have covered two verses. So wherein Brahmaji is praying to the Lord. So we all know, we have seen like Narada was very proud of his father. So Narada's father is Brahmaji. So he was thinking, Narad Muni was thinking, my father is a creator. Then Brahmaji, clears his misconception. He says, no, I'm not the creator. I'm the secondary creator. So now last week we have read two verses. So in the first two verses we talked about how the Lord, the supreme knowledgeable object. Then in the second verse we talked about the forms of the Lord. In the first verse we saw how Brahmaji is praying to the Lord after many years of penance. So Brahmaji is able to know the supreme Lord by his own mercy. So we know the prelude, right? Brahmaji, he was born and everything was pitch dark. He couldn't see anything. Then, he was spinning all around the places, all around 360-degree. Then he heard a voice which is called as tapaha. Then he sat for meditation for 1000 years. Then, he got this knowledge. So then, that's Brahmaji's recalling that. After many years of penance, I'm able to understand you. I'm able to know you. That too only by your mercy. If Lord doesn't show His mercy, so we cannot understand the Lord. Then He also says the people who do not know you, they are the most unfortunate people. So, he's talking about the non-devotees. Then nothing is comparable with you. So nobody, the Lord is, supremely independent. He is the Abhigna, He is the Swarat, He knows everything, right? And no one is superior to Him. So then, Brahmaji is glorifying Him in this way. In the second verse, he's talking about the Lord's personal form, original form, that is Rupa. So he manifested, the Lord manifests by his internal potency, and so the word he uses there is Avirodha Rasodhayena. So like this, he is glorifying his form. Then we'll move to the third verse today, which is there on the screen. नाथ परं परमयद्भवतः स्वरूपम् आनन्दमात्रम् अविकल्पम् अविद्यवर्चः पश्यामि विश्वसृजमेकम् अविश्वमात्मन् भूतेन्द्रियात्मकामदस्ता उपाश्रितोऽस्मि. Can somebody read the translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender up unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.55, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, Yavan Yas Kasmi Tattvata. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead can only be partially known and only by the process of devotional service to the Lord. Lord Brahma became aware that the Supreme Lord Krishna has many eternal blissful forms of knowledge. He has described such expansions of the Supreme Lord Govinda in his Brahma Samhita 5.33 as follows. Advaitam Achyutyam Anandim Anantarupam Adhyam Purana Pursham Nava Yovanacha Vedeshu Durlabham Adur Labham Atma Bhaktyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is non-dual and infallible. He is the original cause of all causes. Even though he expands in many forms, although he is the oldest personality, he is ever youthful, unaffected by old age. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead cannot be known by the academic wisdom of the Vedas. One has to approach the devotee of the Lord to understand him. The only way to understand the Lord as He is by devotional service to the Lord, or by approaching the devotee of the Lord who always has the Lord in his heart. By devotional perfection, one can understand that the impersonal Brahma Jyoti is only a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Lord Krishna, and that the three Purusha expansions in the material creation are his plenary portions. In the spiritual sky of the Brahma Jyoti, there is no change of various kalpas or millenniums, and there is no creative activities in the Vaikuntha worlds. The influence of time is conspicuous of by its absence. The rays of the transcendental body of the Lord, the unlimited Brahma Jyoti, are undeterred by the influence of material energy. In the material world also, the initial creator is the Lord himself. He brings about the creation of Brahma, who becomes the subsequent creator, empowered by the Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So here, the Brahmaji is praying to the Lord, again his personal form. So the Lord is the supreme person. Okay. So he is telling, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. So what it means, the Lord has got a, Lord is a person, as confirmed in Brahma Samhita, again, which was prayed by the Lord Brahma only. So what Brahmaji says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So this Lord's body is, it is completely with Sat Chit Ananda. It is eternally bliss, knowledge, and full of, it is eternal. So whereas our body is it's a temporary. So and also our body undergoes 6 types of transformation. It takes birth, it grows, it remains for some times, it produces byproducts, then it starts dwindling, and finally it dies. Whereas Lord's body is not like that. It doesn't change. So then how can we know this? We can know this only through the process of devotional service. Srila Prabhupada starts the purport by quoting Bhagavad Gita 1855. So in this verse, we can understand the Lord. The verse is Bhaktyama Abhijanati. We can know the Lord only by the devotional service. No, through no other process we can understand the Lord. So by scholarly reading or doing research, so we cannot understand the Lord. Only the easiest way to understand the Lord is through the devotional service. So by doing the devotional service, not only we know the Lord, and we can enter the Lord. We can enter the kingdom of God. So that is the assurance given by the Lord. So that is the first portion which is described. And also Brahmaji again prayed in Brahma Samhita, Prabhupada quotes here, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam. Advaita. Advaita means he is non-dual. And he is in Achyuta means infallible. So means he never falls down. Then Anadhim, he is the original cause of all causes. And he expands in many, many forms like Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, Matsya. So his forms are like unlimited. We have seen in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? The different forms of the Lord are like the waves and the ocean. When you go and stand near the ocean, you will find so many waves, you cannot count them, right? So like that, Lord manifests in so many forms, okay? And he is Purana, means he is the oldest. But I mean, it doesn't mean, when he is old means he is already, he's got a old body like human. No, he is ever youthful. So, we oftentimes hear, no, like during Mahabharat war, he is the eldest person with 125 years old. But yet he was very young. Then he looks like a 17 years old boy. So he is not affected by any old age. And as he mentioned is Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. So by studying the Vedas, we cannot understand the Lord. So we can understand only through the devotional service. So how can we do the devotional service? So by the process of 9 devotional service, starting with Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. By hearing, then Shravanam Kirtanam, by hearing, chanting, and remembering the Lord. So these are the 9 processes. So which we'll start with the hearing. So hearing means we hear, then we chant. So, by doing so, we can improve our devotional service. Even being the first created person on this material world, Brahmaji, he is also praying to the Lord for his mercy so that he will be able to do his job. So he was assigned, he is the chief engineer for this entire material universe, and he is praying to the Lord so that he would perform his duty as entrusted to him by the Lord. Then in the second para, By devotional perfection, one can understand that impersonal Brahma Jyoti is only a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. So, again, we have stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the absolute truth can be understood in three ways. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Shabdyate. So through impersonal Brahman we can understand. Then that is the little inferior understanding. Then second one is Paramatma understanding. Is slightly better than impersonal. Then third one is Bhagavan. Bhagavan realization is the complete realization. So in other two you cannot able to relate, but whereas in the Bhagavan realization we can render personal service to the Lord. So that's what is being spoken here, and Brahmaji is praying. So we move on to the next shloka, shloka number 4. Tadva तद्वा इदं भुवनमङ्गलमङ्गलाय ध्याने स्मनो दर्शितं ता उपशाकनां तस्मै नमो भगवते अनु विधेम तुभ्यं यो अनादृतो नरका भाग्भिरसत् प्रसङ्गैः.
Hare Krishna. Translation. This present form or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotees meditate, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics. Part. Regarding the personal and impersonal features of the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personal forms exhibited by the Lord in his different plenary expansions are all for the benediction of all the universes. The personal form of the Lord is also worshipped in meditation as Super Soul Paramatma, but the impersonal Brahmajyoti is not worshipped. Persons who are addicted to the impersonal feature of the Lord, whether in meditation or otherwise, are all pilgrims to hell because, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 12.5, impersonalists simply waste their time in mundane mental speculation because they are addicted more to false arguments than to reality. Therefore, the association of the impersonalist is condemned herewith by Brahma. All the plenary expansions of the personality of Godhead are equally potent as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.46. Diparsir eva hi dasantaram abhyupettya dipyate vivarta hetu samana dharma yes tadir eva hi cha vishnutaya vibhati govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. The Lord expands himself as the flames of a fire expand one after another. Although the original flame of Sri Krishna is accepted by Govinda, the Supreme Person, all other expanses such as Rama, Narsimha, and Varaha are as potent as the original Lord. All such expanded forms are transcendental. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is made clear that Supreme Truth is eternally uncontaminated by material touch. There is no jugglery of words and activities in the transcendental kingdom of the Lord. All the Lord's forms are transcendental, and such manifestations are ever identical. The particular form of the Lord exhibited to a devotee is not mundane, even though the devotee may retain material desire, nor is it manifest under the influence of material energy, as is foolishly considered by the impersonalists. Impersonalists who consider the transcendental forms of the Lord to be products of the material world are surely destined for hell. Jai Sri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here again is talking about the most auspicious form. So the Lord's form is very, very auspicious. The word used here is Mangala. And not only in this world, Bhuvana Mangala. It is auspicious for all the universes. So the Lord and Lord Holy Name are very, very auspicious. So one Acharya, he writes, he says, Maduram Madurebhyopi, Mangalebhyopi Mangalam, Pavanam Pavanebhyopi, Hare Nameva Kevalam. So he says, Maduram Madurebhyopi. This Lord Krishna and his holy name, they are both are non-different. We know that, right? Abhinatvam Nama Naminaha. There is no difference between Krishna and his holy name. So this holy name is, Madhuram Madhurebhyopi. It's the sweeter than the sweetest you can think of. So then, Mangalebhyopi Mangalam. It is more auspicious than anything you can think of. Then Pavanam Pavanebhyopi. It is the pavan. It is the patita pavan. It's the most savior of the all fallen souls. So that is Harinam. So Brahmaji is reiterating the same fact here. The Lord present form is very auspicious, and Lord, he manifested this eternal personal form upon so that devotees can meditate upon him. So then, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he talks about the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. So as we said, Bhagavan can be understood in three aspects. The first one is impersonal, that is Brahma Jyoti. Then impersonal followers, what they think, they say Lord doesn't have any form. It's just, Brahman effulgence. So, the Prabhupada put for the, our acharyas put for the argument. So, okay, there is a effulgence. Where does that effulgence come from, right? So there should be source, right? Like, there is like we all get electricity. So we are sitting at our home, on, switching a button on and off, we get electricity here. But from where that electricity comes, there is a power station. Maybe it's close to our house or may far away from that. But there is a source. Because of that power station, we get the power. Without the power station, if there is any major breakdown in the power station, we will not able to get the electricity. Similarly, this Brahman effulgence also originated from a person. Then Prabhupada in that purport, he gives an example, like, we see the sun rays, right? So where does the sun rays comes? It comes from sun planet. And also there is a person there who is Surya Narayana, who is the head of that planet. From him, all these, effulgence are, generating. Similarly, Lord has got a form. So, and also we all have been given a body. So when we say somebody's name, immediately you relate to that. For example, if I say Radha Sham Sundar, then immediately our mind goes to Vrindavan. It goes to the Vrindavan temple where Radha Sham Sundar deities are there, right? Similarly, if you call upon someone, even personal, your relative's name or somebody, immediately that person form, comes in front of you, right? So, like, so similarly, if you consider, I'll tell you, okay, it's a Lord is a, he doesn't have a form. He's impersonal. Then how do you think about the Lord, right? You have to forcefully, strain your brain you have to imagine something, nothing is there, but it's not practical, right? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12.5. He says, in that verse, the Lord says, Klesho adhikataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkam deha vadbira vapyate. He says, Klesho adhikataras tesham. So those people who are meditating on the impersonal form of the Lord, they are increasing their klesha, their difficulties. Because, like as I mentioned, suppose if we call somebody's name, immediately his form will come in front of our in our mind, right? So suppose a person, he doesn't have any form, how we are going to recall him? So their life is very, very difficult, and they are going to face lot of difficulties. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Then Prabhupada here again he quotes from Brahma Samhita. The Lord Krishna is the original person. It's like, it's the main candle. From that candle, you are going to lit so many other lamps. But the original lamp is Krishna. And it doesn't mean that, like the first candle, after some time, it will burn and it will go off. No, this will be the eternal lamp. And it maintains its potency even after so many time. So that is the meaning of this verse. Deeparchireva hitashantara mabhyupedya. So, but Lord, in no way he will loses his potencies. He always remains the Lord, and he is the supreme Lord. And that's the reason he says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhrudam sarva bhutanam. So Bhoktaram yajna tapasa, he is the benefactor of all the sacrifices and yajnas. And he is the sarva loka maheshwaram. He is the supreme of all the planetary system. Not only that, he is the Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the Suhrud. He is friendly to all living entities. So he is that supreme personal, and he is not an impersonal. So then Prabhupada, takes an opportunity to give this knowledge, about he chastises, impersonalist wherever he the opportunity gets. Here also he says, impersonalists who consider the transcendental form of the Lord to be a product of material world are surely destined to hell. So yeah, naturally, as we discussed, right, when you think of someone who doesn't have any form, so their life is so disturbed, right? They cannot really understand what this world is. So that is Brahmaji is also telling, and that's what Srila Prabhupada is teaching here with his Bhakti Vedanta purports. We move on to text 5. Etu tvadiya charanambuja kosha gandham jigranti karna vivarai shrutivata nitam bhaktya grihita charana paraya cha tesham napaishi tatha hridayamburat swapumsam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. May I read? Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. Purport. For the pure devotee of the Lord, there is nothing beyond the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord knows that such devotees do not wish anything more than that. The word tu specifically establishes this fact. The Lord also does not wish to be separated from the lotus hearts of those pure devotees. That is the transcendental relationship between the pure devotees and the personality of Godhead. Because the Lord does not wish to separate himself from the hearts of such pure devotees, it is understood that they are specifically dearer than the impersonalists. The relationship of the pure devotees with the Lord develops because of devotional service to the Lord on the authentic basis of Vedic authority. Such pure devotees are not mundane, sentimentalists, but are factually realists because their activities are supported by the Vedic authorities who have given oral reception to the facts mentioned in the Vedic literatures. The word paraya is very significant. Para bhakti, or spontaneous love of God, is the basis of an intimate relationship with the Lord. This highest stage of relationship with the Lord can be attained simply by hearing about Him, His name, form, quality, etc., from authentic sources like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, recited by pure, unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So here again, the Brahmaji is praying, my Lord, person who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of your ears, accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. So it's true. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. He says, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. So, whoever sees me in all the places, sarvam cha mai pashpati, and whatever they see, they relate to me. They see me in that object. Tasyaham na pranashyami. For such people, sacha me na pranashyati. I never vanish from their vision. Means Lord is telling who were thinking of me in all the place, in whatever the object they see. So I am also reciprocate. I am also, I'll make sure that I am there with him. So this is the Lord's word, and it's fact also. So the Lord, even whether he is a devotee or non-devotee, so the Lord is present in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. So whether we like or not, he is accompanying us from the time immemorable. So we came to this material world, we don't know when, but Lord is accompanying. Sometimes human body, sometimes demigod's body, sometimes animal's body, but still he comes as a Paramatma. So he accompany all the conditioned souls. So that's the reason in fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, so he is known as Avignata. Avignata means nobody knows him, but he is present in us, and he is always looking us when this soul turn towards me. So then other important point here, a person who smell the aroma of your lotus feet. So again, when we hear about that's the reason, we take the flower from the offer to the lotus feet of the Lord and we smell it. That smell is capable of giving us, devotional service. So we all know about Kumaras, right? Chatush Kumaras. Sanatana, and Sanat Kumaras. So they were the Brahmavadis. So they were, they never grew more than 6-7 years old boys, because they know once they grow, then they will be affected by this material modes of nature. So they wish to remain in that position only, and they are free to travel all over the places. One time, so they were passing through the Vaikunta. Then they smell the fragrance of the lotus, fragrance of the tulsi leaves, which is offered to the Lord. Then they go to, they go in search of that aroma where it is coming. So, such is the potency of, the fragrance of the tulsi. There's a beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tasya ravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra makaranda vayuhu. So then we all know the pastime, right? Then they go to Vaikunta. They are stopped by the Vishnu Dutas at the gate. Then they were cursed. Then they takes three birth as that Jaya Vijaya. They will come on this material world by taking 3 different lives. That is a different story. So I mean, coming back to the point is the aroma of the smell of aroma of lotus feet is so fragrant. It is so attractive. So Brahma is also regarding that person. And also coming back to another point is, again in Srimad Bhagavatam, we saw from Bhagavad Gita, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. Whoever sees the Lord in all the places, the Lord is present with them in all the circumstances. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, the Lord proclaims, he says, similar kind of verse, Sadhunam Prudaya Mahyam, Sadhunam Prudayam Tvayam, Madatte na janati, Nabhyam te Naham tebhyo managapi. He says, Sadhavo Hrudaya Mahyam. The sadhus always meditate upon me. So Sadhavo Hrudaya Mahyam, Sadhunam Hrudayam Tvaham. So similarly, the sadhus know me alone, and I also know anyone except them. This kind of relation, reciprocation is there from the Lord. So Brahmaji is also praying here. He's recalling all these things. And also here, there's a word which is known as paraya. Paraya means parabhakti. Parabhakti means spontaneous love of Godhead. So there are, bhakti is known as, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So Vaidhi bhakti means what we are practicing is Vaidhi bhakti. So Vaidhi bhakti is like practitioners. We call as sadhaka. It's a sadhana bhakti also. Means we are regulating our life. Means just we are waking up at certain time. Then we chant fixed number of rounds every day, and we offer deity worship. So according to one's individual capacity. So this is called as Vaidhi bhakti. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So whereas spontaneous bhakti means like the example is Gopikas of Vrindavan. So they are 24 hours they are thinking of Krishna. They know no one else except Krishna. So that's the reason whenever Krishna calls them, they are ready to go at any time, without bothering whether it's day, it is night, it is raining, or it is too hot. So that kind of bhakti is known as spontaneous bhakti, and for which the gopis are the highest. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach that Raganuga Bhakti to all of us. Now the 3rd March is the appearance of Lord Gauranga. So one of the reason why Lord comes here is to glorify these gopis, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna came, so he lived in Vrindavan for just 5 years. Then afterwards he went to Mathura. But before that, he told all the gopis, I will come back. But he never came back. So then, he sent Uddhava and so many things happened. And the gopis finally, they go and meet Lord in Kurukshetra. So, but that time, Lord says one verse, na pare ham. Means I cannot repay your debts for the kind of service you are rendering to me. The Lord says. Now, that's only word he said. But later on, Krishna taught, these gopis are such a wonderful devotees. So I have not glorified them sufficiently. So he comes in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is he? He is none other than Radha and Krishna. So he comes and he personally teaches us how to do this Raganuga Bhakti, how to do this devotional service. Okay, so that is the topic, we can meditate for the upcoming Gaur Purnima. So we want to take 6.
Prabhu, this para bhakti is different from para apara जो एक और word use किया जाता है, or it
Yeah,
is the
that is
same.
it's same, Prabhu. It means like in Bhagavad Gita, what says, apareyam itastvanva prakritim viddhime param. Krishna says, right? So Krishna has got 2 energies. One is para prakriti, other one is apara prakriti, right?
Yeah.
So para means, first he explains, 8 thing, bhumi, rapo, analo, vayu. So that is, para
Apara.
prakriti. Yeah. Then he says aparam. Then he says the jiva bhutam mahabaho edam jaryate jagat. Then there is beyond this there is one more energy of the Lord which is exploiting all this jada vastu, right? So it's the same. So para
Okay.
prakriti and yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Next
Hare Krishna,
text.
Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, here the smell of the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord is said carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of ears. Can you please explain this more? Is it referring to the knowledge which we acquire, this Vedic knowledge,
Yeah.
goes through the ear and directly goes to the heart?
Yeah, basically what we do is, all the glorification of the Lord, we glorify Lord's lotus feet, right? Okay, I mean, basically, we start glorifying the Lord with the feet, right? That's the reason when we go to temple, so we are advised to have the darshan right from the lotus feet of the Lord. So for the lotus feet of the Lord, again, if you take physically, Prabhu, we offer tulsi with the chandan and camphor, right? That is offered to the Lord in all temples. If you're fortunate, when you go to some temples, you will get the charana tulsi, right? So that is so pleasing. And the aroma from that, it goes all over the places, and they attract the devotees. Like I gave the example of Chatush Kumaras, how they become devotees. Before that, they were Brahmavadis. They were happy with the impersonal Brahma feature of the Lord. But when they when they smell this aroma, then immediately they become the devotees. So here in this particular verse, all the glorification of the Lord starts with the charana, Lord's lotus feet. So if you say in Srimad Bhagavatam also, there are many, many verses which says, Tyaktva Tyaktva swadharmam charanambujam harer bhajannapako. Like there are many very verses which glorifies the Lord. And that glorification enters the ear of a devotee. So then the transformation takes place. Like for example, in material sense also, Prabhu, like you are working in a corporate, right? So you will not come in direct contact with your the appraiser, but you have an immediate boss, and he will appraise you. Okay, Amrit Madhva Prabhu is good at work, so he can be promoted. So immediately he'll be promoted. So similarly, like in our satsang also, if somebody says, look at this Prabhu, he does an amazing job. So then immediately everybody knows it. But otherwise, it is very difficult for them to know you, right, personally. So similarly, we also what we do, we hear the glorification of the Lord through the mantras. The Vedic sound is nothing but mantras and the prayers, which enters our ears. Then the devotional service starts. So like similarly, when you ask this question, one thing came to my mind. Rupa Goswami in Padyavali, he talks about Krishna's name. He says Tunde Tundavali. I mean, okay, I don't quote the verse. Like when the Krishna's name is so potent, when we hear, when we chant Krishna's name, then you feel like having like thousands of mouths and millions of mouths so that you can chant. Then when that Krishna syllable enters your ears, you feel like you should have like millions of ears you could hear the Krishna's holy name. Then that holy name enters the heart. Then it captures the entire heart. There are so many impurities, but it kicks off everything, and it goes and sits there, and the inner chamber of our heart. So then, that's the glorification Rupa Goswami he says. If possible, you read that. Is that clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. It is the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord is referred to the glorification of the lotus feet through the Vedic verses. That is the Vedic sound.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
Prabhu? Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One more thing in this paragraph. It is written mundane sentimentalists and the realists. What is the difference then? What is mundane sentimentalists?
Yeah, it's like we speculate, right? Just they are speculators, Mataji. Without knowing the real devotional service, they are carried away by the Sanskrit, in Bengali word, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are called as Pashandis. Pashandi means they really don't understand the meaning of the devotional service, but they try to pose, as a sentimental, as a pure devotees. Like for example, the Pashandis, they are also known as okay. How do I put that? One second. Like Mataji, so they pose themselves as the Gopikas of Vrindavan. Even it was there actually even in this culture. Even it's also prevailing in Bengal and other places. They think I'm the I'm the gopi, so I'm serving Lord Krishna in this form. So it's not real devotional service. They're not pure actually, but it's only the sentimental they are posing it. So they are
It's like a showmanship there.
yes.
They're pretending.
It's a pretending, and yeah, and also their understanding is not so great. So
Hmm.
in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam it says like the devotees of the Lord, they have all the good qualities, whereas
Hmm.
the those who are not pure devotees, they are hovering on the mental platform. Okay,
Hmm.
so they think I'm the gopi, so I'm serving this, the Lord. This kind of sentiments they have. They are called sentimental devotees. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So,
Yeah.
Prabhu, what is the technical word? We call it as like the Pashandi is a
Falgu.
Sanskrit.
Falgu, maybe.
Falgu, yeah, Falgu is right. But there is one more word, Mataji. Uh,
Hmm.
now, such devotees are still there in before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, these people were flooded. Even after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, these people are occupied the entire West Bengal. Then our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, before him, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they have to really struggle, to establish this real Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So, Prabhu, what is that word? Those devotees. Mm, I'm
Yeah.
not getting that. I'll tell you. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, sometimes like I also feel like whether I'm doing the correct bhakti or is it bhakti or it is just like what I'm doing is correct or not. Like I'm also not able to explain. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Matish.
it's okay, Prabhu. Yeah, you tell.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes, like we don't know whether we are doing real devotional service or maybe we are also hovering on the mental platform. So that's okay. But, our good thing is that we are associating with the devotees. So that's the
Yes.
reason we always, we have a three check and balance in our life. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Like one
Mm.
is we hear from our Guru. Then we read Shastras. And Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras, and we associate with the devotees. These three things should always tell something. So, then with this, we get slowly purified. So, we will come out of this mental platform and we will be able to do the real devotional service, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. 18 years, he was in Gambhira. He was totally in ecstatic, devotional service. He would cry, he wouldn't eat whole night, he would cry by chanting the holy name of the Lord. This thing will exhibit. But on now, if we try to do that, then maybe we are on, we are not so matured. The best example is our Shed Goswamis of Vrindavan, especially Rup and Sanatan. They were so advanced devotees, and they are the manjaris in the spiritual world. Manjaris are the one who make all the arrangements for the Radha Krishna for their pastime. This Rupa and Sanatan, Rupa Goswami is a Rupa Manjari. He is directly involved in the service of Radha and Krishna. But when they come here, they they give all this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti for all of us. But they were on Raganuga bhakti. But when they sit together and they would discuss all the intimate pastimes of the Radha and Krishna. But when they give this thing openly, they never speak. So similarly, we have so many acharyas. They openly don't discuss about all these things, but within their heart, they're always burning. With the lamentation. In the absence of Radha and Krishna. This is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hmm?
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I'll if I remember that word, I'll tell. Mostly I should recall that word. Okay. Next, text 6. तावद्भयं द्रवीणदेहसुहृन्निमित्तं शोकस्पृहा परिभवो विपुलश्च लोभः तावान् ममेति आसात् avagraha artimulam yavanate angrim abhayam pravrinita lokaha.
O my Lord, the people of the world are embarrassed by all material anxieties. They are always afraid. They always try to protect wealth, body, and friends. They are filled with lamentation and unlawful desires and paraphernalia, and they are avaciously base their undertakings on the perishable conceptions of my and mine. As long as they do not take shelter of your safe lotus feet, they are full of such anxieties. One may question how one can always think of the Lord in regard to his name, fame, quality, etc., if one is embarrassed by thoughts of family affairs. Everyone in the material world is full of thoughts about how to maintain his family, how to protect his wealth, how to keep pace with friends and relatives, etc. Thus, he is always in fear and lamentation, trying to keep up with the status quo. In answer to this question, the verse spoken by Brahma is very appropriate. A pure devotee of the Lord never thinks of himself as the proprietor of his own. He surrenders everything unto the supreme control of the Lord, and thus he has no fear for maintaining his family or protecting the interest of his family. Because of this surrender, he no longer has any attraction for wealth. Even if there is attraction for wealth, it is not for sense enjoyment, but for the service of the Lord. A pure devotee may be attracted to accumulating wealth just like an ordinary man. But the difference is that the devotee acquires money for the service of the Lord, whereas the ordinary man acquires money for his sense enjoyment. Thus, the acquisition of the wealth by a devotee is not a source of anxieties, and in the case for a worldly man, as in the case for a worldly man. And because a pure devotee accepts everything in the sense of serving the Lord, the poisonous teeth of accumulation of wealth are extracted. If a snake has its poison removed and bites a man, there is no fatal effect. Similarly, wealth accumulated in the cause of the Lord has no poisonous teeth, and the effect is not fatal. A pure devotee is never entangled in material worldly affairs, even though he may remain in the world like an ordinary man. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. Mataji, they are called as Sahajiyas. Sahajiyas means, they are pseudo, they are pretending. Though they don't have the pure devotional service, they are pretending as if they are the pure devotees. Okay. Yeah, coming back to this verse, see, this is a fact, no? Like, the people of this world are embarrassed by always material anxieties. We are always worried what happens next, right? We are always worried, how to protect our wealth. If we have the wealth, we are always worried how to protect the wealth. If we don't have wealth, we are always contemplating how should I earn more and get the wealth. So, and also about our body and our friends. These are all happening, these are all our desires. And because of this, we come to the conclusion of aham mameti. We come to the concept of me and mine. So, and as long as we don't take shelter of the Lord, we are always full of such anxieties. Right, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto also, we have studied, right? If we take the to the lotus feet of the Lord, then what happens? We are free from shoka, moha, bhayapavaha. So we'll be free from shoka. Shoka means what? We are lamenting. So shoka is for the past thing. Then moha. Moha means in future. We don't know tomorrow what happens. So we are worried about that as well. Then and present day, today's. I am worried about today's thing. So if you take to the lotus feet of the Lord, then all the three anxieties will be easily eradicated. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So, in one of the classes, we talked about like Raja Rishis, right? If you are regularly attending Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, in one session, there is an episode came where Parikshit Maharaj is a Raja Rishi. So, Raja Rishi means what? He is a king. So, but he is the king in the mood of a devotee. he though he is a king, he is the emperor, but for him he is acting as a servant of the Lord. Means this kingdom is belong to the Lord, but I am just a caretaker. So I am running this emperor because of you. So he is not, disturbed by either, whatever it comes, he accepted because he is just, it's a suppose. Whereas when we think it is for me and it's for mine, then all the anxieties will start, right? The same thing the Brahmaji is also saying, here, he is highlighting this point, like as a family members, we always, think, our family members will protect us, or we are we think, we are protecting our family. Actually, it is nothing. It's everything is taken care by the Lord Himself. If by chance, if somebody is not there, the things will go on, the sun will rise, the days will happen, and their lives will go automatically. But we think, oh, so I am the cause, everything is happening because of me. So that attitude should not be there. And also, like, Prabhupada also here mentions, like, it doesn't mean that if you are a devotee, just give up your earnings. No. So you earn. So, but devotee's intention, he is earning. Why? To help the preaching activities. He is giving his earning for the temple construction, or, he is like today we talked about Shantipur festival, like, 1 million people are having prasadam. So he can donate to that. These are all noble cause, right? He is not doing for, his personal sense gratification. So this is the thing we learn from this verse. Then we move to seventh verse. Okay. दैवेन ते हत दियो भवत प्रसङ्गात् सर्वाभूष सर्वाशुभो पशमनाद् विमो केन्द्रियाये कुर्वन्ति कामाशु कलेशलवाय दीना लोभाभिभूता मनसो कुशलानि शश्वत्.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O my Lord, persons who are bereft of all auspicious performance of chanting and hearing about your transcendental activities are certainly unfortunate and are also bereft of good sense. They engage in inauspicious activities, enjoying sense gratification for a very little while. Purport. The next question is why people are against such auspicious activities as chanting and hearing the glories and pastimes of the Lord, which can bring total freedom from the cares and anxieties of material existence. The only answer to this question is that they are unfortunate because of supernatural control due to their offensive activities performed simply for the sake of sense gratification. The Lord's pure devotees, however, take compassion upon such unfortunate persons and, in a missionary spirit, try to persuade them into the line of devotional service. Only by the grace of pure devotees can such unfortunate men be elevated to the position of transcendental service. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So now, the Lord's holy name, Lord's activity, and Lord pastime are so wonderful. So then, in spite of this, why there are some people that they don't take advantage of it, right? So that is the condition. The conditions is so unfortunate. Why it happens? For three things. So the conditioned souls lost their intelligence due to offenses. We commit so many offenses. Because of that, they have lost their intelligence. Though they are hearing Krishna Katha, nothing goes to them. And first of all, they don't come to hear the Krishna Katha. So however you persuade them, you come to satsang, please attend classes, but they don't come because of the offenses. Second thing is they have turned against the auspicious topics about the Lord. So, like we have such a wonderful scripture is Srimad Bhagavatam. But how many people are interested in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Very, very rare, right? So then the third point is they engage in inauspicious activities of temporary sense gratification. So they say, they will go for the movie or they will go for some sports. So they are ready to spend, but they don't have time for hearing Krishna Katha. So because of that, though, this is the predicament of the conditioned souls. So though the Lord has given all the opportunity for us to hear and know about Him, but we are not interested. So we are moved to the text 8. Yeah, text 8. Kshutra त्रिधातुभिरिममुहुर् आद्यमानाः शीतोष्णवातावरशैरितरतेश्च कामाग्नियाच्युत वृषचा सुभद्रेण च सम्प्रश्यतो मनावुरुक्रमासीदते मे. Yeah, who will read?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Translation. O greater actor, O great actor, my lord, all those poor creatures are constantly perplexed by hunger, thirst, severe cold, secretion, and bile, attacked by coughing winter, blasting summer, rains, and many other disturbing elements, and overwhelmed by strong sex urges, and indefatigable anger. I take pity on them, and I am very much aggrieved for them. Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord, like Brahma, and persons in his disciplic succession are always unhappy to see the perplexities of the conditioned souls who are suffering the onslaughts of the threefold miseries which pertain to the body and mind, to the disturbances of material nature, and to many other such material disadvantages. Not knowing adequate measures for relieving such difficulties, suffering persons sometimes pose themselves as leaders of the people, and the unfortunate followers are put into further disadvantages under such so-called leadership. This is like a blind man's leading another blind man to fall into a ditch. Therefore, unless the devotees of the Lord take pity on them and teach them the right path, their lives are hopeless failures. The devotees of the Lord who voluntarily take the responsibility of raising the foolish materialistic sense enjoyers are as confidential to the Lord as Lord Brahma. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, thank you. So here, Brahma is talking about the jivas, miserable jivas are pitiable. So they are always, attacked by this, hunger, thirst, and severe cold. Then, a coughing winter, blasting summer, rains, and so many disturbing elements. So not only this, they are also overwhelmed by the strong sex urges. Okay, so Brahma is very pity on them. So these, yeah, we are seeing this, right? So our so-called leaders, they are trying to mitigate all these problems, but they try to solve one problem, but they are giving rise to the another two problems. So this, some diseases comes and they will invent some medicines, and with that medicine, you have got side effects. Something else will come. So, but uh, the real solution for this is to spread Krishna consciousness. If one becomes Krishna consciousness, even he understands his position and he can adjust to the situation. For example, if you take devotees, they are not overwhelmed by the hunger or thirst, because they are voluntarily doing the austerities. Like yesterday, it was Ekadashi, right? So Ekadashi, we all fast. So though there is a urge to eat and drink, but oh, today is Ekadashi, I should fast. Like that, they are not much disturbed. Like here in this month, all the people here, they are also fasting. So, our obeisances to them. But, okay, there are some people are good, but some people they are very arrogant. You have seen, from last first week of, when this festival started, there are so many accident happens because they don't have patience. So then what is the use of that? We should control our urges. So then our leaders, they try to solve the problem. And it is like, Prabhupada give the example of blind man leading another blind man into that ditch. This is from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prahlad Maharaj says, Andham yathande upaniyamanam. So we are also blindly following one guru. So then we're all falling into that. So, that is the pitiable condition of this soul, the jivas of this material world. We'll take two verses and we'll conclude. So we'll move to the shloka 9. Yavat pratakvam idamatmana indriyartha maya bhalam bhagavato janaisha pashyet tavanna samshritir asau prati sankrameta vyarthapi dukkha nivaham vahati
ठीक है
priyartha.
बेटा.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji's translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, the material miseries are without factual existence for the soul. Yet, as long as the conditional soul sees the body as meant for sense enjoyment, he cannot get out of the entanglement of material miseries, being influenced by your external energy. Purport. The whole trouble of the living entity in material existence is that he has an independent conception of life. He is always dependent on the rules of the Supreme Lord, both in the conditioned and liberated states. But by the influence of external energy, the conditioned soul thinks himself independent of the supremacy of the personality of Godhead. His constitutional position is to dovetail himself with the desire of the supreme will. But as long as he does not do so, he is sure to drag on in this shackle of material bondage. He has to give up all sorts of plans manufactured by mental concoction. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.55, Prajahati Yadana Kamana Sarvana Partha Manogatam, and has to dovetail himself with the supreme will that will help him to get out the entanglement of material existence. Hari Bol Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, the bodily identification is making us to bind to this material world. So what is happening is, our constitutional position is eternal servant of the Lord, but we forgot that. So we want to exercise our supremacy about this material nature. Then the trouble begins. Then because of that, what is happening? Like the jiva, we are influenced by the maya. So we see our body as the means of enjoyment. So because of this entanglement, it keep on binding us, more and more. So, like we are so attached to our body, our possessions. So because of that, that is giving us bondage in this material world. But, as Prabhupada quotes here in the purport, like 255, so Prajahati yada kaman sarva partha manogatan atman atmevana tusta stitadir taduchyate. So in that verse, the Lord is explaining who is Stita Prajna and who is Stitadir. Stitadir means he is the brave person. Brave person is the one who is not entangled by any of this material possession like body, family and other things. So we should rise to that platform. So means we should always constantly remember our position is Jivera Sarupahai Krishnera Nityadas. We are the eternal servant of the Lord. So with that consciousness, if you work, then we will come out of this bodily consciousness. Otherwise, this bodily consciousness will bind us more and more. So we'll read the last verse, text 10. Ahni apatartha kakarana nishya nishayana nana manoratha diyakshana bhagna nidraha daiva harata rachana rushayopi deva yushmat prasanga vimuka iha samsharanti.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Such non-devotee engages their senses in very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer insomnia at night because their intelligence constantly breaks their sleep with various mental speculations. They are frustrated in all their various plans by supernatural power. Even great sages, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world. Purport. As described in the previous verse, people who have no taste for the devotional service of the Lord are occupied in material engagements. Most of them engage during the daytime in hard physical labor. Their senses are engaged very extensively in troublesome duties in the gigantic plants of heavy industrial enterprise. The owners of such factories are engaged in finding a market for their industrial products, and the laborers are engaged in extensive production involving huge mechanical arrangements. Factory is another name for hell. At night, hellish engaged persons take advantage of wine and women to satisfy their tired senses, but they are not even able to have sound sleep because their various mental speculative plans constantly interrupt their sleep. Because they suffer from insomnia, sometimes they feel sleepy in the morning for a lack of sufficient rest. By the arrangement of supernatural power, even the great scientists and thinkers of the world suffer frustration of their various plans and thus rot in the material world birth after birth. A great scientist may take discoveries in atomic energy for the quick destruction of the world and may be awarded the best prize in recognition of his service or disservice. But he also has to undergo the reactions of his work by rotating in the cycle of repeated births and deaths under the superhuman law of material nature. All these people who are against the principle of devotional service are destined to rotate in this material world without fail. This verse particularly mentions that even sages who are averse to the principles of devotional service to the Lord are also condemned to undergo the terms of material existence. Not only in this age, but formerly also, there were many sages who tried to invent their own systems of religion without reference to devotional service to the Supreme Lord. But there cannot be any religious principle without devotional service to the Lord. The Supreme Lord is the leader of the entire range of living entities, and no one can be equal or greater than him. Even the Lord's impersonal feature and all pervading localized feature cannot be on an equal level with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, there cannot be any religion or system of genuine philosophy for the advancement of the living entities without the principle of devotional service. The impersonalists who take much trouble in penance and austerity for self-liberation may approach the impersonal Brahmajyoti, but ultimately because of not being situated in devotional service, they glide down again to the material world to undergo another term of material existence. This is confirmed as follows. Enye ravidaksha vimukta maninas tve asta bhavad avisudha uddaya
आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परं पदं तथा पतन्त्यधो अनादृता युष्मात् अङ्ग्रयः.
Persons who are falsely under the impression of being liberated without devotional service to the Lord may reach the goal of the Brahmajyoti, but because of their impure consciousness and for want of shelter in the Vaikuntha Lokas, such so-called liberated persons again fall down into material existence. Said in Bhagavad Gita 10.2.32. Therefore, no one can manufacture any system of religion without the principle of devotional service to the Lord. As we find in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the initiator of religious principles is the Lord himself. In Bhagavad Gita also, we find that the Lord condemns all forms of religion other than that which entails the process of surrendering unto the Supreme. Any system which leads one to the devotional service of the Lord and nothing else is actually religion or philosophy. In the sixth canto, we find the following statements of Yamaraja, the controller of all unfaithful living entities.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, please.
The shloka I'll read.
Yeah.
Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam na vai vidur rushayo napi devaha na siddha mukhya asura manushyaha kuto nu vidyadara charana charanadayaha swayambhu narada shambho kumaro kapilo manuho prahlada janako bhishmo balir vayasakir vayam dvadashaite vijanimo dharma bhagavatam vatah guhyam vishuddham durbodham yam gnatvam ashnute.
The principles of religion are initiated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one else, including the sages and demigods, can manufacture any such principles. Since even great sages and demigods are unauthorized to inaugurate such principles of religion, what to speak of others, the so called mystics, demons, human beings, Vidyadharas, and Charanas living in the lower planets? 12 personalities Brahma, Narada, Lord Shiva, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahalada Maharaja, Jaraka Maharaja, Bhishma, Bali, Sukadeva Goswami, and Yamaraja are agents of the Lord and are authorized to speak and propagate the principles of religion. The principles of religion are not open to any ordinary living entity. They are just to bring the human being onto the platform of morality. Non-violence, etc., are necessary for misguided persons because unless one is moral and non-violent, one cannot understand the principles of religion. To understand what is actually religion is very difficult even if one is situated in the principles of morality and non-violence. It is very confidential because as soon as one is conversant with the real principles of religion, he is at once liberated to the eternal life of bliss and knowledge. Therefore, one who is not situated in the principles of devotional service to the Lord should not pose himself as a religious leader of the innocent public. The Ishanopishad emphatically forbids this nonsense in the following mantra. Andam
Andam,
tamam. Yeah. Go ahead,
andam
Prabhuji.
tam vishyanti ye asambhuti mupasate tato bhuyayavate tamo yavu sambhutyam rataha.
A person in ignorance of the principles of religion, who therefore does nothing in the matter of religion, is far better than a person who misguides others in the name of religion without reference to the factual religious principles of devotional service. Such so called leaders of religion are sure to be condemned by Brahma and other great authorities. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. It's a big purport. So here, basically in this verse, Brahmaji is narrating the frustration of non-devotees. So what they are doing, they are engaging their senses in distressing work. Prabhupada gives example of factory owners and factory workers. Both are engaged in very hard laborious job. So like owner, they want to market his product. He's inventing so many other things. So the workers are engaged in producing the product. So Rupa Goswami explains us Atyahara Prayasascha. There are 6 things which are detrimental to our devotional service. They are Atyahara, means eating more than necessary. Prayasascha, over endeavoring for mundane things which are very difficult to obtain. So like that we should not do. Lord has given that, just be happy with that. So that's about first paragraph. In the second paragraph, because of that, in the first paragraph only, because of that, they suffer, sleepless night, because, you are so much stressed, so you are thinking what happens tomorrow, how can I do this marketing, this kind of speculation is completely going on in their mind. And also sometimes, say, like the impersonalists, they think they already achieved advancement. Even against in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, again Brahmaji says this verse, Ye anye aravindaksha vimukta maninam. So these impersonalists, they are following, very religious, they think they are in devotional service and they think they are qualified to attain the spiritual world. But factually, no. What they do is Aruhya Krichrena Padam Patam Tata. So what they are doing, because they have not tasted the lotus feet of the Lord, they will fall down to this material world again and again. So then how one should follow the religious principle? So we cannot manufacture our own religious principles. Right? That's the reason Prabhupada quotes here from Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. So the Lord has given the complete, the guide for us to know what kind of devotion service we should do. So then we should follow in the footstep of this 12 Mahajanas, starting with Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlada, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir, Vaya, Sakir, Vayam. So if we just follow in their footsteps, so we are sure to attain the success in from this material world. So then otherwise, if we try to do our own practices, then as stated in Ishopanishad mantra, Andam Tama Pravishanti. So what we do is we are we are bringing so many troubles, and not only that, we are also causing disturbance in this material world. So Rupa Goswami says utpayataya kalpate. We create utpata in this material world. So that's about it. Sorry, I went a little over time today. So from next week onwards, we can start with 11th verse. So today we have seen, the first 5 verses of this chapter, the Brahma is glorifying the Lord Supreme Form. Then from shloka number 6 to 10, he is giving the positions of the conditioned souls. So by misidentification, conditions of unfortunate, all these things. So that's what we discussed today. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any questions or any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandat Pranam, Prabhu. Prabhu, one small question just came in my mind when we were reading this glorification. When Brahmaji is glorifying, means he saw the Lord, and then he's asking for to prepare a material world, and then he is saying these all shlokas. So is it that he is seeing that it is going to happen these things, because all these things which we really see in this material world so frequently? So before creating, like Brahma had got a knowledge that it is going to happen like this, something.
Yeah. So this material world is meant for that only, Mataji. If we did not have all these flaws, so we would not have fallen down from the spiritual world. So in simple word, so like Brahmaji is the jailer. So he has been ordered to construct a jail, and he's going to he knows actually who is going to come here and live, right? A disciplined person and an educated person, who will not come and stay in this jail, right? Only those who are the culprits, who are the criminals, they are going to come and stay. Similarly, the Brahmaji is assigned the creation of this material world, and he knows, these are the conditions of these conditioned souls who are going to live here. So that's the reason he's praying for their welfare. It doesn't mean that he is very compassionate to them. So that's the reason in Skali Santarana Upanishad, when Narada asked the question, how these people can be liberated, and then he gives this mantra: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashaka Namna Kalikalmashanashanam Nataha Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which consists of 16 syllables, is capable of removing all the impurities of this material world. And so they can, once the impurities are removed, then we will, cleaning the mirror. So there is a mirror which is full of dust. We cannot see our position. Once if you clean it, then you can see our real position. So then we can see our real position. We are the servant of the Lord. Our house is back home in Goloka Vrindavan. So we have come here because of our lording over nature in this material world. And having come here, we got struck here. with me and mine concept. So then, so by listening to Brahma's prayer and hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures, we understand our real position. Then we can go back home, back to Godhead. Is that clear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Again, sorry, devotees, I was over time today. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंतकोटि
अनंतकोटि
वैष्णव
वैष्णव जय
जय
Srila
जय
Prabhupada
Hare Krishna
jai.
Prabhu.
जय
जय
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gau
जय
Premanand.
जय
Hare
हरि हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोल
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for wonderful class.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
हरि बोल
Krishna.